1,000 plus gigawatts renewable energy potential in India. As of July 2023, renewable energy sources in India have a combined installed capacity of 179.32 gigawatts. India is the world's third largest producer of renewable energy, fourth in wind power capacity, and fourth in solar power capacity. India aims to produce 5 million tons of green hydrogen by 2030. India has already achieved its target of 40% installed electric capacity from non-fossil fuels.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned the world that humanity is on the highway to climate hell with foot on accelerator. Listen in.
Humanity has a choice: cooperate or perish. It is either a climate solidarity pact or a collective suicide pact. We are in the fight of our lives and we are losing.
India is emerging as a global powerhouse in the renewable energy sector and is set to achieve net zero emissions by 2070.
India's announcement that it aims to reach net zero emissions by 2070 is a hugely significant moment for the global fight against climate change.
We believe that an ounce of practice is worth more than a ton of preaching. हम भारत में के फ्यूल मिक्स में नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल की हिस्सेदारी बढ़ा रहे हैं.
Hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sansad TV on making India a manufacturing powerhouse, and today our focus is on the renewable energy sector. In this edition, we've packed everything for you on how India is emerging as a global powerhouse in the renewable energy sector, voices that matter, stakeholder versions, and of course a visit to the manufacturing unit. In fact, right now we are at one of the MSME units producing solar components. So come along with me on this exciting journey.
With a population of around 1.4 billion, India has a massive demand for energy to fuel its rapidly growing economy. From a power deficit nation at the time of independence, the efforts to make India energy independent have continued for over 7 decades. Today, we are a power surplus nation with a total installed electricity capacity of over 4 lakh megawatts.
International Energy Agency has called it the largest ever expansion of access in the history of mankind. Largest ever expansion of electricity access anywhere in the world in history. No country has connected so many households in such a short period of time.
India has made impressive strides in the renewable energy sector, positioning itself as a front-runner in the global renewable energy market. Thanks to central government policies and initiatives, technological advancements, and significant foreign investments, India has witnessed remarkable growth in the renewable energy capacity. The scale of transformation in India is stunning. Its economic growth has been among the highest in the world, lifting millions of people out of poverty. Every year, India adds a city the size of London to its urban population, involving vast construction of new buildings, factories, and transportation networks. Coal and oil have so far served as bedrocks of India's industrial growth and modernization, giving a rising number of Indian people access to modern energy services. This includes adding new electricity connections for over 50 million citizens each year over the past decade. Despite the fact that nation consists of over 17% of world population, it only accounts for about 5% of global emissions. India's sheer size and its huge scope for growth means that its energy demand is set to grow by more than that of any other country in the coming decades. In a pathway to net zero emissions by 2070, India estimates that most of the growth in energy demand in this decade would already have to be met with low-carbon energy sources. Having understood the importance of this crucial sector in the years following the signing of the Paris Agreement, the renewable energy sector was one of the critical sectors identified under the Make in India program, which was launched in 2014. With its focus on a zero defect and zero effect policy, there was a need for the development of the sustained long-term capacity of the renewable sector while ensuring zero effect through reducing greenhouse gas emissions by increasing dependence on clean and green technologies. Private sector is driving the renewable energy wave in India.
The phenomenal growth of manufacturing industry in our country is a testimony of the fact that Make in India is just not a patriotic slogan. It has been fully imbibed by the consumers and supported by the industry. The growth in manufacturing sector is not only limited to one or two places, but it is all across. For example, in the renewable industry, till around a decade back, as well as module manufacturing is concerned, we have a capacity of even less than 10 gigawatt. And by 2026, we are looking forward to add at least 100 gigawatt of module manufacturing capacity.
We want to lead by example and leave behind a cleaner, sustainable planet for our future generations. That is the mission that we at Renew Power are embarked upon.
India has been aggressively pushing towards a more sustainable future by investing heavily in renewable energy sources, with solar energy at the forefront of its efforts. India is endowed with abundant solar energy, which is capable of producing 5 trillion kilowatts of clean energy. We are blessed with around 300 sunny days in a year. Many states in India have already recognized and identified solar energy potential, and others are lined up to meet their growing energy demands with clean and everlasting solar energy. The top 5 states for installed renewable capacity in India are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra. Most states in India have a comprehensive residential solar rooftop policy, and you can use the power produced from your own residential rooftop solar system. 8,877 megawatts rooftop solar capacity was added as on 31st of March 2023. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, under its scheme Development of Solar Cities, has approved and sanctioned 60 cities. Sachi, the historic home to the renowned Stoop, now holds the distinction of being India's first solar city. India's utility-scale solar park model has firmly stood its ground. India now houses multiple ultra-mega solar parks with capacity of more than 1 gigawatt, and 2 of them are the largest commissioned in the world to date. The solar parks in India continue to attract global capital and some of the most renowned domestic and international renewable energy developers. Bhadla Solar Park is the world's largest solar park located in India, which is spread over a total area of 14,000 acres in Jodhpur district in Rajasthan. Floating solar power also helps tap into India's large water reservoirs and overcome some of the persisting issues facing ground-mounted solar. The largest floating solar power plant in India is currently in Ramagunda in Telangana. The Union Cabinet has also approved to introduce the production-linked incentive scheme in high-efficiency solar PV modules for enhancing India's manufacturing capabilities and enhancing exports. The scheme focuses on direct employment of about 30,000 and indirect employment of about 1,20,000 persons. Import substitution of around 17,500 crore every year. The government has also allocated a total capacity of 39,600 megawatts of domestic solar PV module manufacturing to 11 companies, with a total outlay of 14,007 crore under the production-linked incentive scheme for high-efficiency solar PV modules. Manufacturing capacity totaling 7,400 megawatts is expected to become operational by October 2024, 16,800 megawatts capacity by April 2025, and the balance 15,400 megawatts capacity by April 2026.
Thanks to the government's proactive schemes like production-linked incentive and other incentives, India has been emerging as a global hub for solar manufacturing. As for NSEFI's official data estimates and market intelligence, we believe that India's manufacturing capacity for solar modules will touch 100 gigawatt by 2026 or 2027, with another 100 gigawatt of cell manufacturing capacity and around 60 to 70 gigawatt of ingot polysilicon wafer capacity.
The focus has been on made in India also. That is where the manufacturers like us are finding a good space to show to the world that yes, there is alternative to China, and yes, the made in India renewable energy products are available, and we are equally competent and we are equally price competitive, technology competitive to offer to the world good quality solar products.
A treaty-based international intergovernmental organization, International Solar Alliance, aims at mobilizing more than $1,000 billion of investment by 2030 for the massive deployment of solar energy. It was established by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and then President of France on November 30, 2015. ISA's objective is to scale up solar energy, reduce the cost of solar power generation through aggregation of demand for solar finance, technologies, innovation, research and capacity building.
We have also put together a global solar facility which provides a payment guarantee mechanism to the private sector investors who invest in these kinds of small projects. With all of this, we hope to be able to create the kind of ecosystem that it takes for the world to move towards a solar future.
Hydropower is commonly produced when fast-moving water spins turbines to generate electricity. India is endowed with large hydropower potential of 1,45,320 megawatts. There are around 197 hydroelectric power plants in India, with nearly 100 gigawatts of electricity potential in India's rivers lying untapped because of high tariffs. The government has approved a slew of measures under the hydro policy to make it competitive. As part of the new hydro policy, large hydropower projects have been declared as renewable energy sources, making them a part of renewable purchase obligation, which requires power discoms to buy a fixed amount of renewable energy to cut reliance on fossil fuels. These measures are particularly beneficial for development of hydro projects in hilly regions and states, which are often located in remote and far-flung areas and require development of extensive associated infrastructure such as roads, bridges for transportation of heavy and large-sized equipment and machinery to the project site. Koyna Hydroelectric Power Project is considered to be the largest hydroelectric power plant in India. Wind energy in India is emerging as an important and reliable source of renewable energy. Wind energy is generated by the use of wind turbines installed in wind farms. According to MNRE, the total installed capacity of wind energy in India is 41.2 gigawatts as of September 2022. There are more than 800 wind power plants in India installed to generate wind power. Tamil Nadu tops the list of states with the largest installed wind power generation capacity. Gujarat houses the second largest installed wind power generation capacity. Maharashtra has the third largest installed wind power generation capacity. Karnataka houses the fourth largest installed wind power generation capacity. Rajasthan houses the fifth largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country. For offshore wind energy, India has a very vibrant policy that came up in October 2015, known as the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy Framework. The objective is to develop offshore wind energy in Indian Exclusive Economic Zone along the Indian coastline. A solar wind hybrid policy was issued in May 2018. The main objective of the policy is to provide a framework for the promotion of large grid-connected wind-solar photovoltaic hybrid systems for optimal and efficient utilization of wind and solar resources. The wind-solar PV hybrid systems will help in reducing the variability in renewable power generation and achieving better grid stability. The Green Hydrogen Mission aims to promote the production and utilization of green hydrogen. It is poised to play a pivotal role in reducing the nation's carbon footprint and achieving its commitment to renewable energy sources. The government has approved a whopping 19,744 crore for the implementation of the National Green Hydrogen Mission in the country. Considered a future fuel, green hydrogen or ammonia is said to be a replacement for traditional fossil fuels. The mission is to reduce India's oil imports and provide clean fuel to citizens. At the same time, to make India a global hub for using, producing and exporting green hydrogen. Its production capacity is likely to invite investment of 8 lakh crore and create over 6 lakh clean jobs. Hydrogen is light and can be stored. It is energy dense and doesn't generate direct polluting emissions. Therefore, it is considered as a substitute for fossil fuels in heavy transport sectors like maritime transport or the aviation sector, where it is hard to decarbonize the fuel.
There was undivided focus on mitigating climate change and switching to renewable sources during India's ongoing G20 presidency. In fact, parliaments of the G20 nations and other invitee nations discussed the issue during the P20 summit hosted by India. After pioneering International Solar Alliance, India has also paved way for Global Biofuel Alliance.
Biofuels are generated from all types of waste, which of course is locally available everywhere. While currently biofuel is only systematically produced from crops and industrial food processing waste, it can also be produced from human-generated waste due to advances in technology. This solves multiple problems. Waste is diverted from landfills as an energy source. It is renewable and available at all times, and being locally produced resolves the hassles and carbon emissions. Prime Minister Modi, along with the leaders of Singapore, Bangladesh, Italy, USA, Brazil, Argentina, Mauritius and UAE, launched the Global Biofuel Alliance on 9th of September 2023 on the sidelines of the G20 summit in New Delhi. The Global Biofuel Alliance is an initiative by India as the G20 chair. The alliance intends to expedite global uptake of biofuels through facilitating technology advancements.
In this leaders' communique, and that's a very important component. It talks about tripling renewable energy, cutting down on fossil subsidies, but it talks about green hydrogen, it talks about biofuel, this partnership on biofuels, Global Biofuel Alliance. It talks about ending plastic, it talks about disaster risk reduction. So many components to the Green Development Pact. And this, to my mind, is one of the biggest achievements which this G20 has seen.
1,600 retail outlets, E20 is available, and the movement forward is to have, by the end of 2025, all petrol pumps in the country to have E20. But I think an even more significant achievement of the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister is that we've already moved from the hesitancy of 5%, hesitancy of 10%, hesitancy of 20%. Our mindset is already changing and looking beyond 20%. How will that happen? Greater ethanol production.
India is pioneering a new model of economic development that could avoid the carbon-intensive approaches that many countries have pursued in the past and provide a blueprint for other developing economies. In addition, Government of India has also initiated major reforms with missions, like the Renewable Energy Evaluation Storage Projects. For example, Green Credit Program, PM Pranam, Govardhan Scheme, Bharatiya Prakritik Kheti, Bio Input Resources Center, Nishti, Amrit Dharohar Initiative, Coastal Shipping Replacement, vehicle scrappage policy, PM Kusum Yojana, which are spread across 13 ministries as part of Green Growth Agenda.
Sector is witnessing a rapid growth. There's been more than 50 gigawatt of bids already announced by utilities. And on top of that, both commercial and industrial category of consumers are also eager to buy more and more renewable power. It doesn't stop at this. Indian government is also pushing that all these power plants should use Make in India.
In an era of accelerating change, the imperative to limit climate change and achieve sustainable growth is strengthening the momentum of global energy transformation. The rapid decline in renewable energy costs, improving energy efficiency, widespread electrification, increasingly smart technologies, continual technological breakthroughs, and well-informed policy making all are driving the shift, bringing a sustainable energy future within reach. The world's actions today will be crucial to create a sustainable energy system. Ultimately, the path to secure a better future depends on pursuing a positive, inclusive, economically, socially, and environmentally beneficial energy transition, the way India is pursuing.
Well, viewers, that's all I had for you in this edition. With camera person DK Pandey, camera assistant Riyasat, and video editor Mukhtar Ali, I'm Kriti Mishra signing off for Sansad Television.